Yep, we're live or going live. Hello, folks. Welcome on this live stream. It's Thursday once again, and our normal live stream day. And typically, it's also Adult Beverage Thursday. It used to be Adult Beverage Friday, but I moved it to Thursday, so now we have to do adult beverages on Thursday. So enjoy, have your own drink right now, and get ready for some fun. So, topic tonight, we're going to talk about our subscribers or my subscribers here on YouTube. If you're watching this on the other platforms, you will be amused by what goes on here on YouTube. So that's the point of this discussion. The first 30 minutes will be me talking. I'm not going to pay much attention to the comments for the first 30 minutes, and then after that, I will pay attention to the comments in the Q&A section, which follows. So if you want to say something important, leave it for the next segment, which is after 30 minutes. If you're here for the short version, you can stop at 30 minutes. I cut it off at 30 minutes, and you don't have to go beyond that and say and complain that it's too long, and then you're going to go unsubscribe again. Like every live stream, I got like 80 unsubscribes every live stream. It's frankly kind of tiring. So if you want to unsubscribe before I even start, do so now, because it is kind of tiring to see. So for the rest of you, welcome, and I'm happy to do live streams for you. The live streams are actually for subscribers, and only subscribers can leave a comment. And other people can leave a comment and after the video is done on the actual comment section, but on the live stream, the only comments possible are from subscribers. So that's why some of you are asking, how come I can't leave a comment? Because you're not subscribed, and you can't just subscribe at the last minute. There is a holding period, so to speak. So hello guys. So last week I talked about some strange goings on with my subscriber count. There was a comment by some guy that says, you're a zucking narcissist. He didn't say zucking, but I'm adding that. You're a zucking narcissist. All you're talking about, your subscribers. You have such a big ego. All you're talking about, your subscribers. It's like, what an idiot. Okay, the last week's video was exposing not the problems of my subscriber count, but something going on that's actually quite significant that maybe YouTube is not getting. And as we found out, and we're going to pursue it further today, the real question is, what is actually happening on YouTube? So that's for YouTube, not necessarily my channel, but for YouTube or with YouTube in general, not just me. And it's interesting. And yeah, and again, I got another survey today from YouTube. So I got these regular surveys now. So why is YouTube sending out surveys quite often, like almost every, my goodness, I seem to recall it's every 2 weeks. Okay, at least every month there's a survey. And my only justification for my only understanding of why they would do a survey is something is bothering them. They're looking at something, results, numbers, and no one's understanding what's going on. And I see my numbers were going down there for a while, and it wasn't clear why until I discovered lately what's been going on. So anyway, that's we're going to get into that, but just to show you how unique you all are, especially those leaving comments, because obviously you're subscribers if you're leaving comments. A lot of people on my channel are also customers of my services. As many of you are on my VPN. A good number of you are using my VPN. A good number of you are using my email as well. And let's just start with that. So what's happening is, if you're using my VPN, that means you have shared IP addresses. Many of you will have the same IP addresses if you're on a VPN, because that's what a VPN does. It shares an IP address so that multiple people will appear together. Well, what happens is YouTube doesn't like that. So one of the things that YouTube does, and this is kind of funny, is YouTube subtracts users of the VPN from my subscriber count. So uh, let's say you're on my VPN. Even if you leave my VPN, they'll subtract you, and I don't know if they unsubscribe you, but they certainly don't count you. So my subscriber count is always less the number of people on my VPN. And this is something I've always discovered. It was very interesting, and there's actually a reason why I'm going through this. There's a reason why I'm going through this because some channels are avoiding me like the plague, apparently, because they think I'm going to damage them. They think I'm going to have a negative effect on them, where the reality is actually the opposite, as we will discuss. I'll get into that in a moment. But that's one thing as a VPN issue. And then I looked at my numbers lately, and there is a certain number. The number is 2,000. 2,000 subscribers leave every month. 2,000 subscribers leave every month, and for reasons unknown for some of them, but 1,000 of them are from closed accounts. So of the 2,000 that leave, by the way, my numbers are steady because 2,000 people subscribe. So what happens? It ends up with kind of a flat line, and that's changing now. It's starting to move again, but it's just interesting how that works. So 1,000 of you, or 1,000 of not you guys, but some people, closed their accounts on YouTube. So that again shows up as a negative. Oh, people are closing their accounts. I'm not sure if I get that kind of negative effect with the algorithm if you close your account. Probably not. Probably not. But they just see a loss in subscriber count. And then the other thing is that a lot of you don't watch on YouTube anymore. I actually didn't know this. I had no idea. Things sometimes change in the social media department here, and it's not that obvious what's happening. And I don't discover it because I'm not on any other social media. I'm only on YouTube, and on Brax Me, I don't even go on Twitter. I have a Twitter account, but I don't even go there. And oh, hold on, my battery seems to be low here. I don't want the battery to die. Wow, that's kind of worrisome here. Hold on a second. Let me just check the battery of the. Just checking if the phone. Checking if the phone is. The camera is out of battery. It's giving a warning, so I hope it doesn't die on us here. So anyway. So a lot of you don't watch anymore, so you subscribe on YouTube. And a good number of you, the number is actually quite high, stop watching on YouTube. And I did not know this. I don't know where everyone went. A large number of you are going to be watching this on Rumble. Some number of you are watching this on Odyssey. Odyssey is pretty solid. I have 78,000 subscribers on Odyssey. That's flatlined. It's moving slowly on Odyssey. Rumble, I've been on Rumble for I think a couple of weeks, and so far I have over 4,000 subscribers, so it's growing quite quickly. But the interesting thing is what the comments are, because people are leaving comments on Rumble, and they said, "Oh, I used to watch you on YouTube, but I don't go to YouTube anymore." It's amazing how many of those comments are there. Many comments on Rumble. And of course, they're the people who don't leave comments. So those are just the people who leave comments. And I'm actually shocked at the number of people that are on Rumble that used to be on YouTube. So that's a very, very big number. And I don't know about any other platform. I guess there's a Truth Social. I'm not on there, so no plans to go on there. And I don't know if that has traffic or not. But the traffic on Rumble is actually quite surprising. They're actually many millions of people on Rumble, and Rumble has 30 million monthly viewers, which really surprised me. So I'm being promoted on Rumble. So my videos are showing on Rumble at the very front, so people can easily find me now because I'm on the front page all the time on Rumble. And again, no idea that would be the case, and the reason again is because people have made their YouTube accounts inactive. So, and this happened in the last, I'm gonna say, last 4-5 months, and that's when the numbers start going down on my channel, and it wasn't very clear why the view counts went down. And as I told you, the people are not getting impressions, meaning my videos are not even shown to most people on YouTube, because I have 364,000 subscribers, and my impression count on a typical video is 150. So that means that they're not even showing it outside of my subscriber base, and obviously not the entire subscriber base. They're showing it only no more than less than half of the subscriber base. So, which means the algorithm isn't very confident that my videos will do well, so they don't do anything. What they don't realize, and of course, the popularity of my videos on Rumble is pretty good. It's almost like YouTube. In fact, my videos, like whatever video they promote, it gets 10,000 views in a day, which is pretty much what happens here on YouTube. So, which is an incredible number. But the algorithm here on YouTube doesn't understand that, because all it sees is that the numbers of people responding to my videos are getting smaller and smaller. Many people are leaving because of the closing of the accounts. Many are inactive apparently on YouTube. They may still be subscribed but are inactive because they don't watch here. And the result is the algorithm then does not feed my videos to non-subscribers, and it basically considers me a kind of a failed creator, which is interesting. And basically, the algorithm thinks that my videos are really bad, so let's not share it. So combining it with a VPN, and then I made videos about how Google is tracking you. Many of you unsubscribed because you're afraid of being tracked with me. So you actually, many of you unsubscribe because of that, and so that makes it even worse. So the algorithm then says, "Oh my gosh, this guy's a loser. This guy's a loser. So we're going to not feed his videos." So I have to fight back, sort of. I have to make good videos in order for the algorithm to kind of set aside its misgivings and allow me to be shown again, which it did in the last few videos. So my video count is starting to grow, and the thing is that when one video is successful, the next one will also be successful. It's the stupidity of the algorithm is just how it works. But the algorithm is failing because I am not your typical social media creator. I'm so atypical, and especially that I'm talking against Google on a YouTube platform. So it's like, I basically, my success is to teach you the right stuff, and you guys are learning, and your reaction is to unsubscribe or go to some other channel, and the result is surprisingly the loss of viewers here on YouTube. And it's funny, it's amusing. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to suggest to you. Obviously, I'd rather you do not unsubscribe and you watch on YouTube as well. But it is what it is. So we'll deal with it. And the reality is, if you are not subscribed chances are YouTube will stop feeding you the videos. So the only way to ensure that you get the content here, if you're on YouTube and not watching on some other channel, is to make sure you go to the subscriber list and watch there, or favorite it, or do something in the favorites, and make sure that you always watch, because I'm on a regular schedule. I post my videos always on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So this is a regular schedule. You will always find a video on Wednesday Pacific time, and then my live streams are always on Thursday, the day after, at 8 p.m. And if you do that and you keep watching, they will continue to feed you the videos. Now here's the other part that's kind of funny with my subscriber base. Most of you will leave activity tracking off on Google, which means they can't even predict your patterns because you clear cookies and you clear all the things. So it's like, I'm basically, now I understand why, there's a limit to my growth, because I'm basically, shooting myself here on this platform. And you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. But at least I understand it. It was just partly just trying to understand what the issue is. So some people will actually, some channels may outgrow me because maybe they're teaching you the wrong things by not telling you the things that I do, because what I teach you sometimes cost me, in my channel performance. And you know what? It doesn't matter. We'll deal with it, and everything's fine, and things will move on. What is interesting, though, and this is the part that Google doesn't realize and is doing the surveys, is that there is a very, very bad effect here with large groups of people leaving YouTube, or at least not watching YouTube anymore, because they're not appreciating the content selection on YouTube, and they're going to Rumble. Obviously, it depends on political leaning. Some people with leanings more towards conservative views will probably go to Rumble, and probably less likely if you have more liberal views that you would go to Rumble. And Rumble's just one example. Odyssey is kind of a mix. I don't know the mix on Odyssey, and some of these other platforms I'm not on. So my videos may get copied to like BitChute and stuff, but I don't do that. Somebody is doing it illegally. If they're doing it, I'm not handling that. But there is a move, and it's kind of significant. And I think if YouTube is giving me all these surveys, they must be concerned. They must be concerned, and the concern is that they must be losing viewers. Even some of the major channels are complaining and saying, yeah, my channel isn't growing. Like some of these channels are at 800K, a big number, and they're not growing anymore. And they're wondering why. And the reason, guys, is because in the US, and I'm mostly a channel that caters to the US market, 85% of my traffic, I think, comes from the US, and then the rest comes from Canada, UK, and Australia are the three biggies. And yeah, from the US side, we basically lost, I'm going to say, half of my subscriber count left YouTube. Yeah. And that makes sense, because, which surprised me about the number, because obviously the YouTube actions basically angered 50% of the population. And I didn't realize they were going to take it really that seriously and leave. So 50% of the population decided that they're going to go spend their time in some other platform. And because they didn't want their viewpoints and the limited viewpoints that they're being allowed to see on YouTube. And it's really sad, because there's an effect, and that's what the effect is when you start curtailing debate instead of debate being open. This channel is not a political. I'm actually surprised that people would watch me on Rumble, and I'm actually surprised that Rumble would even be interested in my channel to ask me to join them there. And I'm the number 7th creator on Odyssey. So, and not everyone on Odyssey is in some political realm in the top list there. Let's see. I think the top one is Veritasium, which is science, and there's some other things from some other countries, but I'm number 7, so I'm pretty close to the top there. So that's pretty good, and still growing, keeping up with everyone, going fairly well. So, and to have 78,000 subscribers on Odyssey, which is kind of a small platform if you think about it, that's a nice success for in a small platform. But I did not realize how big the platform is on Rumble. I mean, some of you mentioned Rumble in here, and I didn't really know, and it's a huge number. So yeah, so I'm not telling you to go to Rumble. I'm telling you watch me where you want to watch me, and it would be nice if you didn't unsubscribe, and it would be nice if you hit like. It would be nice if you know, told the algorithm some good things for a change, because the algorithm thinks that I'm a very bad creator. So I had to work really hard making videos in the last, I don't know, 5, 6 videos, meaning the last 2 months. I've been slowly like ramping it up, and the videos are becoming more and more successful at each round. And then the last, like every video I make is number 1, and then the next video is number 1 again. So it's climbing up, and then the algorithm is starting to feed it again, and I'm getting subscribers again temporarily. Who knows for how long? And I'm getting ad revenue again. My ad revenue was almost like dwindled to I don't know. Maybe I couldn't even buy coffee. I think there was like it was getting down to a number that was kind of made the advertising kind of superfluous on YouTube, and it was kind of like kind of meaningless. But that's okay. That's okay. People are still buying my products on my store on Braxme. People are still on Braxme, and because I have a channel in Odyssey and here, and now in Rumble, so the distribution of traffic is pretty much growing everywhere. The only thing I'm losing out is getting new viewers, which is what YouTube helps me to do. So, I hate to ask you for any support on YouTube if you don't feel like it, because you're angry with YouTube or something. With Google, I hate to suggest anything, but if you are able to, and you don't mind, a support on YouTube translates to other people, meaning currently non-subscribers, new people seeing my videos. Otherwise, nobody sees my videos. So unless you're in Rumble or some other platform. So yeah. So anyway, yeah. If you prefer to be on some other platform, that's fine. I'm just suggesting that I appreciate the help if you can do it, because I gotta like battle the algorithm that's not understanding what's going on, and they think I'm a loser. Now there's a real story to this that's kind of interesting. And I haven't mentioned it because obviously there's a reason for this, that it's happening, and I'm sure tied to the fear that I may be a negative to some channels. So 2 channels actually interviewed me. So two videos were made. 2 videos were made. The one video was made by a channel, and the channel got deleted. On the day that they were going to release the video, the channel was deleted. This was a German channel. So the German channel got deleted. It was called Oval Media, and I was interviewed by a guy who has a kind of a show on there, and the platform got deleted, so the video never came out. So that's one. And then if some of you in tech may know David Bumble. So David Bumble it's a big channel. It has 1 million subscribers. So because he's bigger than me as a channel, he has more to lose if posting a video about me is bad for him. So anyway, we did an interview, and he has a video, but he didn't release the video. He didn't release the video. I had no communications. I don't know why he didn't release the video. My guess is he got the fear. He thought maybe releasing the video, seeing my low view counts, he probably thought that it was going to be a negative in his channel, which is actually wrong, because it's just that the algorithm is confused, because the numbers on other platforms are very high, meaning the videos are still performing as I expect them to perform if they are allowed to perform as usual. If it's called a click rate, the click through ratio is still very high on the videos. So they're high, but the only complaint that they have, save your comments for later, even though you're doing a super chat there, James Lynch, because I won't see that, because I'm gonna start looking at it in the next few minutes. So I gotta go find that again. So anyway, that's kind of interesting how a big channel like David Bumble started to not post a video, probably thinking that, oh, this might hurt my channel because, this guy's not getting the views anymore. So I'm happy to say that that's not really what's happening here, that YouTube is not feeding my videos for algorithm reasons, because the algorithm is misinterpreting what's going on. The actual support from my own followers are still pretty high. The number of unsubscribes per month has been constant. It's always been at 2,000 a month. And the only reason it doesn't change is the minimum subscriber count I get is 2,000 a month. That's the minimum that would subscribe. My unsubscribe count is probably quite high compared to other channels. And the reason is, many of you watch it and they say, oh, I better unsubscribe because I might be tracked by Google. So a lot of you may do that, and that's why the channel may have a higher unsubscribe than those just not liking me. So if you don't like me, well, then you should unsubscribe. So that's no one should force you to do anything. Anyway, that's just interesting factoid there. The real news here, and I think this is something that's important to understand, is that YouTube misstepped. They really affected half of the population. Half the population got angry, and some of these politicians, they're at it again. The CIA, Casey, the CIA director from the past, said that Republicans are dangerous. Republicans are dangerous. That's no different than saying Democrats are dangerous. That's half the population you're talking about. Let me just translate that to saying half the population is dangerous. That's what that means. How the heck do you survive with a platform when you say Hayden? Okay, not Casey. Okay, Hayden. How do you survive with a platform when you disenfranchise one half of the population? I don't get that. You say, oh, we don't want to. Well, we think this half of the population are dangerous. How can half the population be dangerous? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, I mean just common sense. Doesn't matter what your beliefs are. I mean, use common sense. You're saying the platform is, or somebody is saying half the population is dangerous. Well, how do you think that half the population is going to react? They're going to say, what? You're telling me I'm dangerous? Anyway, this is just the weirdness of the day. So of course that's probably going to get a lot of views on YouTube because they want they want uh, they want that kind of limited mindset instead of open discussion, and that's going to damage us. Too bad, my channel is not political. The privacy issues affect anyone, left or right, from whatever country, and it's very sad when the platform that I'm on, which is this, is playing games like that, because then I'm losing out by having to move, and then I got to move. I guess it doesn't matter. I can move my channel. I don't have to be on YouTube. I can be someplace else. So if they do that, and and I have to move my channel, well, it's their loss, because then they're not making money. So unfortunately, the algorithm doesn't understand this because it's a machine. It's an AI. It's a machine, and so too bad. YouTube, you may suffer from this, and I don't care. I'm gonna move if I have to. I've already moved my content to other channels, so nothing's gonna happen. I'll be on YouTube, no problem, but it's your loss. You're gonna lose advertising income. So thank you guys for listening to that, and we're gonna go into the Q&A section here. Before we do that, we will skip to our sponsor. Our sponsor is Lenovo. So what is Lenovo? Lenovo is a cloud provider. They can set you up with servers if you need a server, a web server, a Linux server of some sort. If you want to just learn Linux and you want to play with servers and you want to do it cheap, this is the place to go, because you can set up a server for $5 a month if you run it for the entire month. If you run it for a day and you kill it, you may be spending cents. And what a great way to learn Linux servers. You can just set up a Linux server. You choose from a menu and say, I want that Linux server, and they'll do it for you. Let's say you want to say, oh, I want an Ubuntu server, and I want it configured in such a way. You just specify that this much memory, and then the smallest one is $5 for 720 hours, meaning the whole month. And wow, what a way to learn Linux. You don't have to set up any servers, and if you run it for a few days, then you only pay that part of a day. If you use the code lenovo.com/RobBraxman, they will actually give you a $200 credit. So the first 2 months of whatever you do will likely be completely free. So if you do that, you can get some free learning time on Lenovo to learn about Linux servers. It won't cost you anything. You can set up websites and do things like that, and they have the best support of all the ISPs, cloud service providers, that I have dealt with. I've dealt with so many, including GoDaddy and AWS, and Lenovo people are great. They're just it started out as a small company. It's actually older than AWS, and they've done a very good job. They're now owned by Akamai, but nothing has changed. They're still doing exactly the same thing. Okay, I am not yet. I'm not on locals. I'm not on locals because I'm not even much on Patreon, to be honest with you. Some of you support me on Patreon, but I don't have a chance to actually talk about it much. So I don't know. Should I be on locals? Locals is a Patreon. It's an alternative to Patreon. So yeah, I don't know. You guys suggest to me if I should do that, if I should go on locals. So because most people who go on Rumble go on locals. So it's not a big part of what I do. So yeah, I'm offering. I'm just setting up the membership now. There will be a YouTube membership. So there will be a YouTube membership plan. I'm trying to figure out how to determine the benefits to that. But I'm going to enable the memberships on this channel. YouTube offered it to me, and I can now do memberships on this channel for, let's say, $5 a month or so, and that way, then, if you want to support me, you can support me on here on YouTube. So So, which I appreciate for those, who are into privacy and you're supporting me on YouTube or even watching me on YouTube. I understand the difficulty there. But uh, something that I will turn on, and of course I'm not wearing a T-shirt now that's saying "de-Googled," but that's on my merch store also on the description. So any support that you guys give, whether on Patreon, I'll look into locals, or if you buy my products, I have the Bytes VPN, I have the Braxmail. Braxmail is metadata free. If you don't understand what that means, if you just use some regular email, you're actually sending out your IP address every time. Every time you send email, somebody can track you and trace you and say, you live over here. So why would you want to do that? Why are you passing it's like saying, put your home address on every email. Why would you want to do that? So that's what Braxmail does. It strips off the metadata. So it's not trying to do any kind of fake security like, offered by the 210 Autos and the Proton Mail, which is pretty much useless in 99% of the cases. And yet you think they're offering something special to you. They're not. So, but the Braxmail, at least, is pretty clear what it does. It just takes off the metadata, not promising to do anything more than what Proton Mail will do, because 99% of your mail, or 99.9% of your email is unencrypted anyway. So anyway, that's the product. And then of course the Brax phone. Now I got an announcement on the Brax phone. So the Brax phone, we've been working on a new version of the Brax phone. And first of all, somebody made a new case. So this case here, somebody made this. It's kind of a more rugged case. And a private party made this. And he's giving me another one to test. And then I guess if people like it, then he may manufacture it. So anyway, so he has a more rugged case, and some people are modifying a Samsung A30 something case, some rugged case from there. I don't know which one it is. I never remember because I don't have any Samsungs, and they just do a cutout. They use the X-Acto knife and cut the holes that are missing, and then it works for them. So there's the way to make a case for that. Anyway, the thing I'm talking about now is that we have a new version of Brax 2. It's going to be called Brax 2 USA. So a new Brax 2 will come out. Brax 2 USA will look exactly the same. It will look exactly the same as this phone. It's going to be slightly more expensive. The difference with the new version is it's going to have a registered IMEI. We have already tested it. It currently is accepted as a valid IMEI by T-Mobile. It doesn't mean that AT&T and Verizon will not support it. I'm just saying that T-Mobile reports the IMEI is good on it. So that's the version that's going to be available. I'm going to guess mid-September, September 15 or so. The other thing with that version is it's going to be running a new version of Brax OS that's Android 11, because this one is Android 10, and that's going to be Android 11, which is equivalent to Lineage 19.1. This is equivalent to Lineage 18.1, and it would also have Band 4. Band 4 is needed by Verizon, so that phone will have Band 4, the missing one for Verizon. So in theory, it should work with Verizon, although we don't know if the IMEI will be accepted. So some more testing has to happen, and that's part of the delay. Even though we can get the phones pretty much immediately here, we're trying to deal with getting the carriers to actually acknowledge that the IMEIs are okay. And we also can reflash the old phones if you have the older ones. I didn't say older one like they're older. It's the same phone. The new one is basically the same phone. Minus the IMEI flashing. We can flash the old phones into the new IMEI for those that have a problem. The problem affects only 2% of the population. So you don't really need to do anything if your phone's running fine. There's no reason to do anything. It only affects some of you. I don't know why. It's maybe where you live, the towers around you. So far, the number is like 2%. So for those, we are able to flash the IMEI to something different, or we just do an exchange, and you can exchange for a phone that we flash the IMEI on that's in their accepted list. Some of you like the fact that the IMEI is unregistered. So actually a plus, because then they can't exactly identify the phone, which is actually not a bad thing. So anyway, that's a progress on that front, and hopefully it will just solve some of these carrier issues, which is kind of a pain, and we're actually, suffering from the effects of what the carriers are doing here with IMEI, and they're using it kind of a tool. They're using this tool, and it's really, it angers me, because it's they're basically blocking things for no reason, and they're even if the phones actually work, they're saying no, it doesn't. James Lynch, thank you for the super chat. I'm getting to it now. Thank you for the support, James Lynch, and appreciate that you sent your support in the first 30 minutes when I was not looking at the comments. So anyway, this is just good news, because now we are able to flash IMEIs even on existing phones. So we're going to have to kind of have a way of doing that easily, because it's going to be a lot of traffic, because I've sold a lot of these. So if a lot of you say, can you change the IMEIs? We may get a lot of phones. So anyway, if we do that, the only cost will be shipping, which is typically $11 to ship it back to you. So anyway, that's the main cost. But we can't do that right now until we've tested. We got to make sure. T-Mobile is good. So if you were having problems with T-Mobile in the past, with prepaid and so on, that should solve it, and that includes Mint, Ting, all of those. If they're having problems, the new IMEI range should fix that. So, has Robbie ever been to Little Tokyo in Los Angeles? Of course, I'm in Los Angeles. Of course, I've been to Little Tokyo. What else? Do you flash Lineage? Do you flash Lineage Android 10 Q in case? Well, we do Android. We do Lineage 18.1. The problem is there's some bugs on the last 18.1 for some phones. And so you're kind of stuck if you don't upgrade to 19.1. So yeah, because what happened is they released 19.1, but there were bugs in 18.1 which they did not solve. They left it. So the end result then is that 19.1, Lineage 18.1 still has some bugs on some phone models. So yeah, I can't remember which phone has the problem. Maybe a Pixel 4 XL. I can't remember. But some phone had some problems, and then they couldn't solve it. And the only solution is to go to Lineage 19.1. So yeah, so I'm not sure why you would not want to update to 19.1. People have a short attention span. Some YouTubers upload 4 to 5 times a week. You have to stay relevant. Try doing shorts. No, I'm not going to do that, Michael W. No need for me to go crazy and do shorts and do crazy things. I already post 2 videos a week, which is a lot. I don't know if you realize how long it takes to make one video. Pretty much the moment the video gets released, I'm already working on the next one, or sometimes a week ahead. So yeah, I'm already doing the video. I can't make these videos that fast. If you see the content, there's it's a lot of depth to it. So there's a lot of time spent per video. I'm shortening the videos. The videos are typically now around 20 minutes or less, mostly. The last one was slightly longer, but I'm targeting a number that's under 20, like 15 or so. And sometimes I can't do it. So yeah, so sometimes I can't do it. So because it's a lot of effort to make these videos, and I'm not sure people realize that you can get real burnout here. Because not only do I have to do these videos, I got to support the platform, I got to support Brax.me, and I got to support people buying the products and the VPN and doing programming on there to solve problems. And I can't even do any new programming. I don't have time for it. So yeah, so there's a limit, and I'm basically focusing my attention on helping you and making sure the content is helping you, rather than making new products or anything else. I'm not focused on that because there's too much activity going on with helping each and every one of you coming up with these topics. So when do your videos get posted on? When do your videos get posted on Rumble? Actually, Rumble gets the feed. So I post my videos at 9 a.m. on Wednesday here on YouTube. Rumble has a little algorithm then that checks, for it. Probably, I'm going to guess twice a day. So I'm going to guess they're going to find the video by, let's say, by noon. But it gets held up at Rumble. Rumble doesn't really do anything, and you don't get any notification that it comes up. This Rumble has some limitations, and it's not yet as sophisticated as YouTube. The only reason you're seeing my videos on YouTube, if you're not subscribed to me, on Rumble, is because the editor at Rumble is posting my videos on the front. Since I'm one of their promoted channels, they're promoting my channel on Rumble. That's why it's showing up on the front page. Otherwise, you have to look at your feed to see my videos, and it may take maybe a day before they even show the video on Rumble. I don't really know why. When I look at it, it says monetization pending. I don't know what that means. Then it sits there and it's not showing up anywhere. It has 0 views. And it stays there until somebody at Rumble decides to do something. So I'm not clear on that. Not clear on the reason. So Rumble doesn't have a good notification system for that. So they still have some work to do. But a lot of you are on there, so that's really the main point. Will YouTube membership fee fling off 30% to YouTube? I don't know what the percentage they get is going to be. I don't know. But Super Chats is, I think, Super Chats, they get 1/3 of it. So if you do Super Chat, I believe 33% of it goes to YouTube. Not sure about memberships. So memberships may be different. So yeah, maybe they're competing with Patreon, and Patreon is much less. Trying to figure out what the percentage Patreon. Maybe 15% on Patreon. Maybe I'm not sure. Somebody can verify that. I'm certainly not certain. And the reason is I'm not necessarily asking for freebies. When the support is obviously appreciated, but I come up with products and make sure you guys appreciate the products, and then you buy products, and then you're all supporting the channel indirectly. So that's been my monetization model. Because I have products, this is probably, for my size channel, this is probably one of the most successful channels on YouTube. So view count and all that aside, this channel is very successful because of the products. So I don't rely on revenue. The revenue is nothing. It's so insignificant. It's really more of a bother. I don't even take sponsors because why do I need to take a sponsor? It doesn't bring in that much money for the effort. So I don't really care about sponsors, and that way also I'm independent. I don't have to start supporting things that I don't believe in. And that's why who are the things that I sponsor on here? Lately the only thing I've supported on this channel as a sponsor is basically Lenovo, and for a while there I did for a short while I did Start Page, and for good reason, because DuckDuckGo was no longer a good option. So anyway, so we join for free. You give link when we go live, and you join for free, and you give link when go live on Rumble. Okay, I did not know that about locals. I really have no knowledge of locals yet. You taught us how to confuse the algorithm. Yes, and now it's costing me, which is really funny. Why don't you mention prepaid credit cards in your cashless video? Because prepaid credit cards are paid in cash usually, which is the point. Cashless options. Because if they stop cash, how do you buy a prepaid credit card without cash? If you buy a prepaid credit card with another credit card, then kind of missed the point. Or with a check. So no, that didn't qualify. So the option I was raising was options that were cashless. So because the question is, if they stop the use of cash, it's a cashless society. Okay, then how are you going to do things that are cash, like prepaid cards? You can't do that. Even with when I talked about money orders, I talked about debit cards, not cash. Okay, because that's the video. Cashless society. That's where they're pushing us to go cashless. If they're pushing us to do cashless, and you're going to say, I'm going to buy that in cash and use that. Well, you might not be able to, is my point. So if the store, let's say you go to CVS. You go to CVS. I'm going to buy a prepaid card at CVS. So you go to CVS and pick up one of those prepaids, and let's say we don't take cash. Then how are you going to pay for it? That's my point. So I don't even know if the post office takes cash, considering the situation. So yeah, I don't even know if the post office takes cash today. So here in Los Angeles, a lot of places do not take cash. So, right. So the beggars on the street, as I said, will need card readers. You know those vendors that sell fruits and such at the intersections? They're going to need a card reader in the middle of traffic. It's like some of the stuff is like, OMG. And the problem is the poor people are the ones who do not have credit cards. And now what are they going to do? Oh, gosh. Your post office may take cash. I don't know if our post office takes cash because of their attitudes. They're still wearing masks. So if the post office still wears masks, then maybe they may not take cash. I don't know. We need a law enforcing cash as legal tender. Yeah, but for the moment, their excuse is that it's going to give you COVID. So because they use cash, you're going to get COVID. So we can't use cash. Yeah, right. Right. How many people actually got COVID from cash? I think the JingPad, I don't know what a JingPad is. Beggars should know cash is going out of style. Everything is digital and virtual. Yeah, beggars need to buy a card reader. Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just trying. So yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of those people selling fruit on the streets here in LA are illegal aliens. It wouldn't surprise me, right? Because it's a way to get money and get paid in cash, and they don't have to show any evidence of citizenship because they're running their own business. So they can go on the street corner to sell fruits or flowers or have some sort of temporary stand, and because they're moving around, they don't get caught. And if they do that, then they disappear in this economy. If you start saying you need a card reader, then yeah, that's going to be interesting. That is going to be interesting. So yeah. So you can kind of extrapolate from there: beggars, street vendors, and any number of provider of services. Why doesn't you doesn't make your what why you doesn't make your videos on Telegram? Why doesn't make your videos on Telegram? Why should I put videos on Telegram? I'm not that fond of Telegram. Monkey. Oh, is there any news about the Brax 2 phone for Canada? Brax 2 phone works for Canada just fine. The current model is an international model, so there's no need to do anything for the IMEI. Is not an issue outside of the U.S. So there are currently no issues with Brax 2 internationally. The only issues I talk about with Brax 2 are U.S. Because of the strange things that U.S. carriers are doing. It has nothing to do with international. I ship to Canada almost every day. So, yeah, I shipped some to Canada today. So obviously, it's going to Canada. A lot of people that work illegally work construction industry and agriculture. A lot of them get paid in cash. Yeah, but then you pay them in cash and they go somewhere and they say, well, we don't want to take your cash. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, so there's no need for anything special. The current Brax phone is going to be known as the Brax 2 International model. So the current Brax phone is the Brax 2 International. The new one we're releasing, which is going to be slightly higher priced, is the Brax 2 phone USA. Okay, that's the difference. Could it be that your viewers don't generate as much ad revenue as normies? Yes, that's Sean Ferguson. I forgot about that. That is quite true. My viewers not only are going to be on a VPN, but are going to be on ad blockers. If you're on my VPN, there is an ad blocker already. But otherwise, many of my viewers will be on ad blockers. So I do get revenue, but my revenues will be lower ad-wise than some other channel because they rely on that. And I don't rely on ad revenues because people don't watch me with the point of giving me revenue. In any case, I appreciate when you watch an ad and let it run. It's appreciated because every little thing helps, and some of you get angry. I don't want to see ads, and I'm gonna unsubscribe for you because there are too many ads on your live streams, which I don't really control until way after. The ads don't show up until sometimes 12 hours after my live stream, and so I got to go and edit and take the ads out, and so I just stopped bothering because it's too much time consumed to do that. And because people don't want to, well, you have too many ads on your live streams, and it's like, just be nice, support the channel. I mean, it's not like, it's like I'm becoming a millionaire from doing this. So if you support the channel, I appreciate it because then it gives me a chance to make you more free content. So I'm not a fan of cryptocurrency for that reason. Thank you, MLV. You don't have to be a fan of cryptocurrency. I'm not telling you to be a fan of cryptocurrency. However, cryptocurrency is in small amounts, even for those who are not fans, small amounts of cryptocurrency are quite useful for privacy. I'm not telling you to, put your life's earnings into crypto if you don't believe in it. If you believe in it, then it's fine. If you don't believe in it, I think you should still have small amounts of crypto because it is private. It's a lot more private than anything you can use. So crypto is not bad for privacy. It's a very useful tool. So since we can do it, as long as more people accept it, then it would be quite cool if if people use crypto even in small amounts. You don't have to, again, you don't have to put your life savings on it. But if you had a couple $100 in crypto, worth of crypto, you can do little things and you can pass it back and forth between people who might accept it and keep that quiet. So yeah, and the other thing that crypto doesn't take the 5% cut that your bank does. Your bank takes 5% of everything that you do. Everything that we do in society is priced 5% higher because the banks take it. So the system, the financial system, is made to profit over 5% of every single transaction in the world. In crypto, they can't do that. That's why they hate crypto. So don't hate crypto too much. Don't come and tell me there's no store of value. There's no what is crypto based on? Who cares? People tell me that, and it's like, you actually believe the dollar is based on some value? The dollar is not based on value. They print money. Yeah, but it's based on an economy. Okay, fine. The thing is that people who buy Bitcoin pay it with U.S. dollars. So yes, there's a basis for it because it was paid with U.S. dollars. Therefore, there's proof that was paid with U.S. dollars. So it's not based on anything. Well, you're wrong. It's based on something because somebody paid U.S. dollars or whatever their local, currency is for that crypto. So they paid their real money into it because they believe it's a store of value. As a currency, though, which is all I'm talking about here for privacy, as a privacy, I'm not looking at store value. I'm just looking at privacy. As a privacy tool, crypto is much better than anything else, and it doesn't have that 5% extra that the banks make off you. So you don't have to care if it's based on anything or not. The only care is, does somebody accept it? That's it. And people always argue with me and say, well, there's no store of value. I don't care. I buy and I manage to buy and sell things using Bitcoin. So what do I care if you say there's no store of value? And they say, well, you're going to lose all your money. I don't have much money. I'm using it for transactions. There's not much money in there. So yeah, my life savings aren't in there. So it doesn't matter to me. So yeah, so take it in perspective. This is a privacy channel. I'm telling you, it's good for privacy. It's good for privacy, whether or not you believe in it as some sort of you don't tell me, oh, you think Bitcoin is going to get to 142,000. It's like, come on. I don't care what it goes to. I don't care about that. I'm just saying that it's a way in a cashless society to still maintain privacy, even better than cash, because cash has numbers. And white paper has value. Yeah, whatever the value of the paper is. But crypto is used for exchange and people accept it. So if people accept it, you don't have anything to worry about. You worry about it when people stop accepting it. So I don't disallow comments with a VPN. No, that is not the case. Comments are disallowed from people who are not subscribers. If you are not a subscriber, you cannot leave a comment on the live. You can leave a comment on the after live. So no live comments are allowed from non-subscribers, and the reason for that is the spammers trying to cut out on the spam. I'm on a VPN too, so yeah. So anyway, no issue with the. I just understand some of you are very adamant about your beliefs and you don't think there can be any other option. Come on, I promote freedom of expression here. I can't believe every time I talk about, let's say, vaccines, Then I got the pro-vaccine people complaining that I complain about vaccines, and the anti-vax people saying, I'm going to unsubscribe from you because you're vaccinated. It's like, fuck. The whole point is freedom of speech. I allow everyone to say your side. I allow everyone to say whatever you want to say, vax, pro-vax, anti-vax. But if you're going to say, I'm going to unsubscribe for you because you're vaxxed, even though I allow you, and not only that, promote you even for being able to make your choice to do whatever you want to do with your vaccination status, and then you say, I'm going to unsubscribe from you, then do. Because you're actually killing your only support. I am actually supporting you. I'm supporting you by allowing you to explain your point of view, and allowing you, to have your belief and not have anyone criticize you or exclude you from society because you want to stay unvaxxed. If you want to stay unvaxxed, I think you should be able to stay unvaxxed. But don't come to me and say, oh, you're so dumb, you get vaxxed. It's like, come on, make your own choices. I make my own choices. Yeah, sometimes I, wonder about my choices, but it's too late now. So I don't really worry about my choices, in my case, because it doesn't affect me negatively. It may affect some of you negatively, in which case then it should concern you, but it didn't affect me negatively, and I tested to make sure it didn't. And because it didn't affect me negatively, then I can do whatever I want. Okay? So, but I can't believe that some of you will say, you are so dumb, Rob. You fell for it, and then we're going to unsubscribe from you. It's like, then you don't belong here. Okay? Because this is a channel that says, you're allowed to speak. We don't want any restrictions in your ability to speak. So don't restrict me either. That's just not right. Okay, don't restrict me from making my choices. Maybe I don't like my own choices. Just because I made a choice doesn't mean I like it. It was based on information I decided at the time. I sometimes do regret making some moves, and that's for me to decide. So anyway. So just you can you talk whatever you want, and that's allowed, but don't come in here and saying, you're unsubscribing to me because of my vaccination status or my comments about my negative comments about vaccines, because I get hit on both sides. It's like, zuck you all, those people on the extremes. I mean, You're missing the point. You're missing the point. It's basically, some of the stuff is about power. It's essentially, if the side in power can control and whatever your political belief is in power, then anyone that tries to get power on the other side got to be bad. I mean, what a philosophy. My thing is, why don't you all speak, and then us guys in the middle of the road, like me, I can listen and say, okay, based on what you said, I'm open-minded enough to say, okay, I can go change my opinion. But, some of you are using it for power. So it's like, what is it? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So you don't even care what the enemy of your enemy believes in, because if it's the enemy of your enemy, then it's got to be your friend, even though you don't even believe in anything they believe in. It's crazy. It's crazy attitude. I mean, that's the philosophy of sheep. No independent thinking, and this is the kind of world we are in. There's no independent thinking. I remember when the Democrats started supporting McCain because he was anti-Trump. Okay. Do you understand what McCain believed in? I mean, here's a guy who is totally opposite what the Democrats believed in, and they actually supported McCain because he was anti-Trump. It's completely illogical. It's basically it's just say, let's just burn everything down. It doesn't matter what the guy believes in. He's anti-Trump, therefore it's got to be good. And so now it's repeating again with Cheney. So okay, we got to support Cheney because she's anti-Trump. And it's like, why don't you actually listen to what Cheney believes in? In case you forgot what her father believed in, which is the surveillance infrastructure. The current surveillance infrastructure for 9/11, FISA courts, and all of this stuff that are used to control us today was based on Zucking Bush. The increase in surveillance came from Bush and expanded even more by Obama. So you can see there's really no politics in here. There's really no politics. I don't know what you're thinking. You're thinking that, somehow your politics are immune from all this, and you're crazy if you don't understand what's actually going on. That no, power is about power. Power is about power. So Obama expanded the CIA. The CIA was a tiny, minuscule little organization before when Bush was running for president. When Bush was president during 9/11. The CIA was hardly anything because all the resources went to the NSA. And then the CIA today is a duplicate of the NSA. So all of the stuff that the NSA does is being done by the CIA. Now we got two entities, and plus there are sub-entities that are doing surveillance on all of us, and backed up by whoever the president was, and even today, I don't even know. It's funny, Trump became president, and I said, "You're being hunted down by the same three-letter agencies," and I don't see him doing. He didn't do anything to curtail the three-letter agencies. He didn't do any kind of he didn't speak out against them politically and say, we need to reduce this, we need to stop the spying of American citizens. He didn't do any of that. And now he's being attacked again. It's funny, because what happens is when anyone gets to be president, they see the power, they can control a lot of stuff, and they say, oh, there's a lot of power here. I don't want to give this up. I can spy on my enemies. I can, use them for political purposes. I don't want to get rid of that. So if you're not in power, then it's really, really bad. If you're in power, it's really, really good. So that's why they don't do anything when they're in power, because they want to use it. But power moves. It doesn't stay there. So I, on the other hand, am consistent. This is one thing that you will find about me. I'm very consistent here. I do not like this surveillance government, the surveillance environment. I don't like that, and especially with the data that did not exist, decades ago. If it existed during Nixon's time, we would be in big trouble today. And it didn't exist during Nixon's time, but J. Edgar Hoover would have been happy to spy on every one of you and directly attack each one of you if they had access to social media. And they didn't back then, and now they do. And you're saying, oh, let's go put our life on the internet. It's really great. And it's like, what if J. Edgar Hoover had that? So J. Edgar Hoover was told, one of his instructions was, we need to take out all the gay people from government. So all of these people are very supportive of that. Oh, we're woke. We're gonna, we need to change everything. There's no women. We don't even know what the definition of woman is and all that. So, okay, so we're powerful now. We're the powerful gay community or whatever, right? Now, in theory, they feel that, but they actually forget that during the time of J. Edgar Hoover and Nixon, that they were the ones being targeted. So now you're giving the tool for somebody in some future to target your own group or some other group. So, I mean, there's always differences in people, and, you'll be categorized by some difference, and they're going to say, there's going to be discrimination of, good-looking people and ugly people, and then the ugly people want to get the rights, and we want to take away beauty as a, who knows, something's going to happen, and and the fact that society has allowed us to identify every subgroup is crazy. So what you want to do is have the freedom to speak without fear, and nowadays you can't even do that. So what the situation is now it's all about who's in power. Whoever is in power is allowed to speak on that side, and then when it reverses, then the other side can't speak because you will be labeled as dangerous. It's funny how that goes. It's like the changing things. I don't change, I don't judge things like that. To me, it's pretty black and white, Let everyone speak. Let everyone speak. And, if your argument is good, let everyone speak, and it's gonna stand out. And it's when you curtail the arguments that we never really get the good picture, because it means somebody is enforcing it on us, and somebody is forcing conformity. And that's the thing that I don't want, because unlike many of you, some of you are too young. You've never lived in a dictatorship like I have. If you don't know what happens in dictatorship, if you have lived in a dictatorship, you're not going to want it. You're not going to want to be in that situation. You're going to make sure that dictatorship is not armed with information to hurt you. And this is the world today where they can hurt you now. And because you're not hurt yet, you think. Therefore, there's nothing bad going on. I already see bad things going on, with the censorship and so on happening, and certain beliefs and certain people being labeled in a negative way just by believing something different, not even an extreme point of view. Imagine parents. I don't get that. Parents being labeled by the FBI as domestic terrorists. So it's just, because they're not accepting the debate about, bathrooms and who's male, who's female. I mean, some of this are legitimate things to discuss, because, there's pluses and minuses to everything. They're legitimate things to discuss, and we're saying, oh no, if you believe the other side, 50% of you are wrong. Therefore, you are a domestic terrorist. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, I understand why each side defends, whatever they're saying. I understand that. And you should be allowed to say it, both sides, and then see what society decides as a whole. But we're saying, oh, you can't talk about it. And the real reason they won't talk about it is because then one side gets the advantage. So then things are implemented in a way that maybe, we regret later on because we didn't plan on it. So one of the things that to me is interesting, because we never look at the negatives. Some of you will get mad at me for this and say, you want to cancel me. Okay, fine. If you want to cancel me, you can cancel me. But it's very interesting about gay marriage, for example. So gay marriage is pushed but they forgot about divorce. You see, it's not just one. There's two parts to it. There's two parts to it. If you get married, then you're saying 50% of your property is going to be split up in divorce. So it's funny. There's a push to one side and nobody hears the other side, and then it's like, yeah, did you think about that? So for those of you who are gay and got married, I'm just curious if if it bothers you that it opens you up to that. It's very, very quick to run to one, and even heterosexuals who get married have the same issue. What happens in divorce? And yeah, that's nobody thinks about that, but yeah, because that's the second side to it. You don't just get married. Some people don't get married or undoes their marriage, and what happens then? So yeah, Rob, this stream has turned into a Rob's rant instead of a Q&A. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I mean, Q&A means so you're like you want me to be answering the same questions about, what kind of phone should I get? I mean, come on. I'm talking about society here, which is impacted by surveillance. If you're not understanding what I'm getting at here, that the fact that we are not able to have the freedom of speech which is what YouTube's problem is today. If you don't have the freedom of speech to just say what you want, people are not getting a balanced opinion, and so they're not going to make a balanced decision. It's going to favor one side or the other, and that's that's the point of this. It's not about me. It's not about me saying I'm ranting. It's beyond that. It's like the guy who said that I'm only talking about from last week's video. You keep talking about your subscribers. You're a narcissist. Oh, come on, shut up. What I'm talking about is how YouTube is losing subscribers and how YouTube is being. I may be affected on the side because it appears that I lost subscribers, but the real answer is that YouTube lost a lot of subscribers. Half of my subscriber base disappeared. Where they go? They went elsewhere. And you're saying, oh, I'm talking about my subscribers. Today, I'm talking about something different. I'm talking about the fact that we think you can limit speech without it having an effect, and there is an effect. That's why they beat Poe. He was a B. He was a B. What is a B? Take America back from Linux. What? You can't. Anyway. So yeah. So it's not the rant is actually related. I'm just trying to give you a big picture of what I'm saying, because I'm kind of a middle of the road guy. I'm fairly middle of the road. I'm probably not going to be extreme in either direction, and mostly because I spend a lot of time talking to a lot of you, and it's hard to be extreme when you know where everybody comes from. So everyone deserves some listening. You're going to find me kind of thinking way away from the extremes. I'm not going to be attracted to either extreme. Because, for example, the extreme right is very into surveillance. So yeah, not gonna be fond of that. So yeah, so I'm more middle of the road. Certain things bother me more than others, and yeah, and my belief is you should be able to think whatever you want to think. Well, I don't know, Kareem. I don't know if my political opinions matter. I'm just, saying. I'm just saying, where I tend to fall, and it's in the middle of the road. So depending on the topic. So Jason Smith, what is Jason Smith talking about? I just saw a reference that I automatically dislike. So Jason Smith saying things that irk me. So I think I want to take you out. Can somebody knock Jason Smith out? Because he mentioned the Unix developer. We all know who that is. So can somebody knock him out? I don't like that. Don't mention that here. Okay? Don't mention that here. Bugs me. I don't want to be bugged. Okay? So, yeah. So, I don't want any crazy people, community people here. Anyone from that community, we kick them out. And I don't know what else he said, but he mentioned, I don't like what the last comment was. I don't know what the reference is, but if you mention it, I don't like it. So that's it. I don't like it. Fortunately, it's my channel. I can do that. So yeah, because they make videos about me. Oh, Rob did this or that. It's like, zuck you, zuck you. You're trying to be important. You're not. Zuck you. So anyway, thank you, guys. I got 4 minutes left. What am I missing here from comments? Yeah, guys, I have a merch store. If you help the channel in some way, some of you don't want to help with ads or subscriptions. I can't force you to do anything. You do whatever pleases you. But if you support me, I really appreciate it because we do need to convince the algorithm so that other people watch the channel. Can you detail your lived dictator experience? I've talked about it. So that was the time of Marcos, and in the Philippines, and the current president is now Marcos again. That's how the stupidity of the people are. The people are stupid. They just elected the son. They just elected the stupid son. What do? People are stupid. So, yeah. So Marcos is again president. So, yeah. After all the stuff that I talked about here about my negative experience with dictators, and then they elected the son of the dictator with, his billions of money hidden away. So you're forced to go on Discord. If I'm forced to go on Discord, why would you go Discord? What is so special about Discord? Go to Braxme. Why would you need to go on Discord? Marcos is a dictator. He's not communist. He's a dictator. So anyway. So yeah. Got a couple of minutes here. Yeah. So if you support the channel with likes, if you hit like on there, and make the algorithm think that the channel is okay. It's appreciated. It's, if you can, I can't force some of you. You have very strong opinions about this, but if you can, any support is going to help, because when half my subscribers go leave en masse, the algorithm can't interpret that as being other than the fact that this must be a stupid creator. Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate your support in any kind of a way. So there's a merch store. If you want me to make a new merch store with a new content put on here, let me know. Give me suggestions, and we'll do that. Something that's a call to arms kind of thing. We want to do that. So yeah, if you have some ideas on what to put on a shirt, for example, I'd like to know. So, were you a programmer when you lived in the Philippines? Uh, I was here as a no. I did programming here. I was a kid in the Philippines. Don't go to the supermarket today. Why? Why shouldn't I go to the supermarket today? Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I'm out of time. So, again, if you're going to complain about the ads, I don't see the ad until, way after the video. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully, we'll have a good video next Wednesday. Bye.